Hey guys, welcome to 6 Minutes for Tuesday, February 7th. I'm Jason Fulmore, SC Russell, and man, it's been a busy 2 weeks. Personally, it's been a really busy 2 weeks for me. It's also been a really busy 2 weeks for the wrestling world across the Southeast, as we have tons of action from all over, including Tennessee and North Carolina doing their state duels, North Carolina women crowning their first ever state champions, Georgia area duel, or Georgia areas or regions individually started off last weekend, getting ready for sectionals in both Alabama and Georgia this weekend. Florida kind of continues on in their traditional, doing their traditional, and South Carolina is right in the middle of their state duels right now as well. So much to cover, and so that this doesn't end up being way too long, I'm going to go ahead and cover just a few of those things. I've been doing an awful lot of work on the website, especially in the SC Wrestle Plus. And if you're from Georgia, look for sectional fans guides here coming up. I think maybe today for the girls, but definitely by tomorrow for several of the classifications and everything else. Anyway, all right, so let's jump into the state of Georgia. And there were just so many. If you want all the results and everything else, go to the website. You'll be able to see everything. But as you can see from the pictures, there were, lots of champions. In fact, the truth is there were so many champions in terms of, areas and regions. Some are much more difficult than others. Some are really very tightly contested. Others are kind of a blowout with, all 14 wrestlers getting through sectionals onto their, through 14 wrestlers getting through regions or area. And if you're from the state of Georgia, if it's a smaller classification, it's called area. If it's a larger classification, it's called region. And their second step is sectionals, which is this weekend. But they're, some of them are really small, and a lot of wrestlers kind of get through and everything else. Again, I'll touch base about that in the fans guides here in just a day or two. But if you're interested in all the results from the state of Georgia, go back and check that out. I appreciate everybody who sent me pictures. I got a ton of pictures. No way to keep them or post them all here. So, I appreciate it, but there's just only so much time. All right, let's jump to the main events of the weekend, and that was the North Carolina State duels. Let's start there, where things were crazy, chaotic. Again, if you don't know North Carolina leading up to this Saturday, they had day of wrestling, then they'd have a day or two off, and then they'd come back and wrestle another two or whatever, and then a day off, and then finally culminating with a single duel on Saturday in Greensboro, North Carolina. In our first duel, we've got Northwest Guilford versus Laney, and check out this clip, which was a huge win for Northwest Guilford. Yeah, so, this was the one that I wasn't 100% sure about the team score. I had to go back and watch it after the fact because the stream wasn't working terribly well for me when it was live. It looked like, according to Track Wrestling, that Northwest Guilford was up by a bunch, but that's not what the video shows. Regardless, Northwest Guilford really handled the duel, made a run from about 285 down to 138 or so, and really put up some points on Laney that they weren't able to either come back from or what. Congratulations to Northwest Guilford on a 4A state championship in the state of North Carolina. All right, let's jump to 3A, where we had Fred T. Ford versus Union Pines, and a renewed kind of rivalry because we've seen these teams against one another several times. And we had a great match, a great duel going on. Check out this video. So Braden Johns followed up, I assume it's his brother, in the duel. Ford led, but only not by a significant amount as we headed into that last video. And Braden Johns, they were back and forth in that match. You can go back and watch it on Flow Wrestling. And that fall kept the momentum going for Ford. And as a result, they put up a ton of points in the middle of that lineup and really went up on Union Pines. Eventually, I think they were up 42-9 and pretty much put the duel out of reach. But it was those types of matches that we just saw that really helped propel them. Getting 6 points was huge in that duel, especially in that individual match, because it certainly could have gone against them, or it could have gone a fall against them, or a win. But boy, adding 6 points, again, can't express how much bonus points matter. So congratulations to Fred T. Ford on another championship. Coach Carey has quite a crew up there in Western North Carolina, and they are your 3A dual state champions. All right, jumping over to 2A, we had Newton Conover and Bunn in a tight one. It was close, 21-18, and then we hit this match. So it was 21-18. After 8 matches, Jason Brawley came up huge for Newton Conover as he got the fall. And just like what we just talked about with the Ford match, that started a string of wins for Newton Conover that proved to be the difference for Bunn. I'm not sure Bunn actually added any more points to the scoreboard, and Newton Conover, they went ahead and took the 2A state title in the state of North Carolina for the duels. Congratulations to them. And in our last one, we've got Uwharrie Charter versus Avery County. And this, again, like I said with Ford and Union Pines and maybe a few others, this is always a knockdown, drag-out affair between these two squads. And this time it was no different. It was back and forth, 33-30 as we headed to this match. And Jaden Manis's fall at 195 pounds was huge. I mean, it really basically, it didn't just basically, it sealed it. There was only one match remaining, Seth Blackledge of Avery County, who they forfeited to, and Uwharrie Charter went up 39-30 after that fall, ended up winning 39-36, and claimed the 1A state dual title in the state of North Carolina. So congratulations to all of the teams in the state of North Carolina and on their wins. And before all that occurred, we had quite the event with the culmination of the first girls' state championship. And there were some outstanding matches. No way to go through all 14 or give highlights of all 14. But here are a few that were kind of fun to watch if you get a chance to go back and watch them. Yeah, so congratulations to the all the women that competed in the North Carolina State tournament, regardless of whether you made the tournament, state qualifier, placed, made the podium, or were one of the champs to take home a title. It was a historic day for women's wrestling in the state of North Carolina, as it was the first sanctioned North Carolina women's state tournament. Uh, just to kind of go back to the videos real quick, that was Leah Edwards who won. I'm not sure exactly the weight. Isabel Rodriguez. Then you saw Kaylee Sudreth, who came back with a pin to win her match. And then the last one was Savannah Bramhall, who she holds up four fingers, three quote unquote unofficial North Carolina state titles, and one official state title, but four titles regardless, as she finishes out her career for Parkwood, and what a great career it was. So, congratulations to all of the North Carolina women as they competed, and obviously the duels. Let's now move to the state of Tennessee, where things were crazy. I mean, I said that at the beginning of this, but in reality, if you looked at kind of what happened and what transpired in Franklin, Tennessee this past weekend, you would, I think you'd be a little shocked, to be honest with you. Let's start with the women, because we just finished the women in the state of North Carolina. We will start with the women in the state of Tennessee. And there is no video, unfortunately, on Track Wrestling of the duel between Rossview and Cleveland. But Cleveland ended up taking the title. Kamoria Turner really got the fall for Cleveland in and kind of sealed the deal for Cleveland. Rossview went on a run, had a few more wins there at the end. But Cleveland was able to push the lead far enough ahead with that fall to take home their first ever state duel title, knocking off the defending champions, Rossview, who won the first ever girls state duels title in the state of Tennessee last year. So we now have Rossview and Cleveland, who have state duels, women's state duels championships. And as we're going along, why not keep it with Cleveland? Because they not only won a women's state title, they added another trophy to the case for the guys. And this was Jose Cordero in his match against Miguel Rincon of Bradley Central. And Jose won it in overtime with the takedown, and Cleveland really just extended their lead in that duel. They were up, I think, 24-6 by this point in time over Bradley Central, and the chances that Bradley Central were going to be able to kind of pull back with so few matches remaining became slimmer and slimmer as Cleveland went on to win, I think, their sixth in a row in the big school D1 2A in the state of Tennessee. All right, so not surprised there wasn't crazy as far as it goes with Cleveland, because that's a little bit of an expected outcome given how much they've won. But the other outcomes were probably a little less expected. And one of those happened in Division II between Father Ryan and Baylor. Yep. Baylor, one of the top programs, not only in the state of Tennessee, but across the Southeast. They fell to Father Ryan. And check out this match, which was hugely important in the outcome of the duel. So Brody's win there. Only left 2 matches to go in the duel. He got that takedown in the third to give him a 4-0 win, 3 more points, and again, the ability for Baylor to kind of come back, especially with Case and Rourke for Father Ryan on deck, became much more narrow as Father Ryan went on to claim a state duels title over Baylor in a wild one. Speaking of wild ones, I want to show you the bracket for Division 1, 1A. Division 2, 1A? Man, I'm, the number of different divisions and number A's always messes me up. It is Signal Mountain, Fairview, Soddy Daisy, and Ultimate Champs Knoxville Halls in this bracket. And I want you to simply look down the match scores. We are talking in the first round, 36-30, 34-27, 39-33, 41-34. In the semifinals, it was as close. This is how close these teams were in this bracket. And ultimately, as it should, it came down to this. So Harlan Hunley of Knoxville Halls got the fall at 145 pounds in the last match of the tournament as Knoxville Halls takes a 36-35 win over Signal Mountain. I was disappointed because there was no sound on Track Wrestling for this particular duel, and that's a shame because I'm sure it was exceptionally loud as Hunley got the fall and Knoxville Halls were celebrating their first ever state duels title. So congratulations to them. What a bracket to go through to get to that point. And we finish with the small school in Division 2, Division 1, Division 2, can't remember off the top of my head, between Boyd Buchanan and Lakeway Christian. And we in the Southeast have seen Lakeway Christian wrestle quite a bit. They have some real hammers, but Boyd Buchanan came to party. They came to play. And as you can see in this video at heavyweight, this was huge. So Ty Barnes' win in the Ultimate Tiebreaker ended up pushing Boyd Buchanan up 27-10. And while that wasn't the culminating match in the duel, it was huge in the outcome because Lakeway Christian had quite a few hammers sitting on deck, Spencer Reed, Gumlick, so on and so forth. But and we could have shown, Knoxville Halls losing a match but not giving up bonus points, which ended up, or not Knoxville Halls, excuse me, Boyd Buchanan not giving up bonus points by their 6 and, so on and so forth down there at the bottom. But that's not really, that's not as exciting for the Boyd Buchanan crew, who ended up winning the duel and taking the title. I think it was 33-31 over a good Lakeway Christian squad. So congratulations to them. Man, again, absolutely crazy. We had North Carolina state duels. We had the girls' state championships, individual state championships in North Carolina. We transferred over to Tennessee, where we watched Cleveland beat Rossview, knock them off in the women's state duels. Then we watched Cleveland make it a girls-guys state championship, which I think is the first in the state of Tennessee. And then we watched Father Ryan beat Baylor, Boyd Buchanan beat Lakeway Christian, and Knoxville Halls come down to the final match in a super bracket to take home their first ever state title. What a weekend in the Southeast. Next weekend's gonna be just as crazy. We've got sectionals in Alabama and in the state of Georgia. Look for information on that coming up, and I'll try to get out and get some video so we don't have to rely on truck wrestling and everything else. Best of luck to everyone, and congratulations to everyone who competed this weekend and who won a title. Well deserved. See ya. Bye.